Sound technology was developed by Bob Monroe from the Monroe Institute back in the like 60s and 70s. He was having out of body experiences, super cool. And he was like, "Oh, am I crazy?" And he got checked out. "Nope, you're not crazy. Do I have a brain tumor? Nope, no brain tumor. Like, am I unhealthy? What's going on?" Anyway, all the doctors, clean bill of health, are like, "Bob, you're fine. Go live your life." And he's a businessman. He had a lot of money, some extra money to spend. So he got a lab together. He got a physicist, Thomas Campbell. He got an electrical engineer. He got a bunch of really smart people and scientists. And they started studying this whole phenomenon of like him having out of body experiences. And so again, you can't really like he was like, how do I prove this? Or what is this? What's happening? They hooked him up to EEGs, like brainwave technology. They hooked him up to physiological monitoring equipment. Again, all science, all reproducible, right? Now, does that science say yes, he was having an OBE? Not necessarily. But what it did show was that his brainwave activity was very similar to really advanced meditators. Like he was getting into brainwave states that was like usually people who are really, really advanced meditators would take multiple years, like, sitting in Tibet in a monastery and like getting really good at that. So they monitor it, they figured it out. They're like, okay, that's cool. So he's subjectively telling us he's having this out of body experience or these like in a deep meditative, mystical experience. And they saw his brain was like, "Ah, that's really interesting." Okay. So then they were like, "All right, we studied it, we see what happens." And then they thought, well, what is this brainwave? Is just sound, it's just frequency. I wonder if we could entrain the brain of novices to be able to all of a sudden like be to be an advanced meditator. Like, could they use sound technology to have a novice have a mystical experience? And they're like, "Huh, maybe let's try it." And then they're like, "Okay, well, how do we entrain the brain?" Oh, hey, thanks Zach for the gift. I appreciate that very much. So they figured it out, and they're like, "All right, well, we can't just play this really, really slow sound frequency because the human brains, they don't hear it. We just don't hear it." So they figured out this binaural beat tech. Super cool stuff. Or I'm geeking out a little bit here, but like this is just like good stuff that you get to hang out with me. All right, so the binaural beat, what is that? They play one sound frequency in one ear, one sound frequency